All right, Shalom. I'd like to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashum, Yahushai, Ba'ashum Rakak and peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. Hey, Shalom. Uh, and not sure exactly where to start. I have a few precepts in mind, but other than that, this week, the start of the new year, it's been very beautiful. It's terrifying. It's terrifying and beautiful because Yahweh, Ba'ashum, Yahushai is bringing judgment upon Babylon the Great, and the judgment is only going to increase. Up until this place is destroyed by nuclear destruction, by the lasers from the chariots. Earlier this week, to start off, you already had, I think it was, I don't remember where it was, but it was somewhere in New York City, that they had, right after the New Year, 2 people died, and then news after that, you had a terrorist attack in New Orleans. A few hours later, you had that, what happened, that Cybertruck blowing up in Las Vegas, and many more things. There's more disasters than that. All around the world, planes crashing. The children killing their parents. What else? Wars, rumors of wars, natural disasters, earthquakes, flooding, tornadoes. You got supposedly a bomb cyclone getting ready to happen this week. And meanwhile, it feels nice and warm right now. But this is getting ready to be freezing. Looks like, tomorrow. So it's just chaotic weather, chaotic times, chaos all around. And you have Esau Edom, the so-called white man, who's ruling right now, which you're starting to see through all his shenanigans. Here it is, that with that Cybertruck bombing, which if you've ever seen, if you look at the thing of the Cybertruck, that thing is completely burnt to a crisp. Yet, the guy's identification, all the things, the body's like unrecognizable, has a gunshot wound to the head, and you have all these things that happen, but it's just showing that this man Esau Edom is the strings are showing. When you watch them old movies, how they do the special effects, like that, it looks like the dude's really flying in the air and all this kind of stuff, but you can see the strings. Now that back in the old movies with the the older type cameras, you wouldn't really notice the strings. You had to have a keen eye. But now, all the information is out there. All the information, with how Esau Edom does things, how he does his tactics, how he runs his psyops, it's all out there. Now you have, going back to film, you have high definition cameras now, or high definition TVs, which some older, if you look at older TVs, the CRTs and whatnot, they were able to hide, because the quality of them, they were able to hide the strings and the stuff that you wouldn't really notice behind the scenes. But now with the technology today, you can see right through it. Just referring to, the modern day psyops, everything that goes on today, you can see right through it. You can see it. The same thing with the New Orleans, the dude that, that ran all the people down in New Orleans. The same thing. The next day they had a reporter go into his house, and he conveniently had the Quran open, and, all the station, all this kind of stuff. It's all set up, and people were seeing right through it. You go into the comment sections, they're like, "Oh yeah, okay, buddy, yeah, real believable." So all these things it's all BS. This devil has been pulling the strings, been behind the scenes, causing chaos and pointing the finger at somebody else this whole time. But now it's showing. This devil is really showing who he is and what he's getting ready to do. But anyway, it's enough rambling. I'll start off here. This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, this is Yahushua sitting on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, "Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world?" So the disciples were asking, what is the sign of your coming? This is Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. and he doesn't look like a so-called white man. He doesn't look like Jared Leto, Cristobal, not Cristobal, what's his name? Caesar Borgia. He doesn't look like that. He looks like a so-called black man. He looks like a so-called Negro. And there were no J's in the Hebrew. So this is who they're asking. They're asking Yahushua. And Matthew 24 and verse 4, matter of fact, let me go back to that. Matthew 24 and verse 3, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? So they're asking, what is the sign of your coming? When is the sign of the end of the world? And you go to this world, a word for world is aeon. It means age. So when is the end of this age? They're not asking when is the world. Christians will think that the end of the world, and they'll think that the earth is going to blow up or something like that. You ask people, oh, we're in the end times. Yeah, we're at the end of times. We're at the end of the world, but they can't tell you how or why they know or anything. They can't go to the scriptures, any of that. But they think that the earth is just going to blow up. But it's not. This is speaking of an age. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 4. One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh. So one generation passes away, and another generation cometh. So this generation that's passing away, this is Esau's generation. This is his world that's time to rule. The next one to come up is the time for Jacob, Israel. This is the next time to rule is Israel's time to rule, and it's going to be an unbroken age. It's going to be perpetual. It's going to be for eternity. But the earth abideth forever. So the earth is going to be here forever. Forever and ever and ever. The earth is never going to be destroyed. So let me go back to this. This is Matthew 24 and verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? So what is the sign of your coming and the end of the world? This age. So I'll go ahead and get that. This is G165 Aeon, and it says a broken and forever, an unbroken age, for perpetuity of time, or a period of time. So this is a period of time that Esau Edom is ruling. Now, ask yourself, who is the ruling kingdom during Yahushua's time? It was the Romans, the Roman Empire. That was who was ruling. Now, this is Daniel chapter. This is Daniel chapter 2. And I'll start at verse 29. No, matter of fact, I'll start at verse 28 because this is a dream that was given to Nebuchadnezzar, and Nebuchadnezzar he couldn't understand the dream. His sorcerers, the Chaldeans, they couldn't understand the dream. Matter of fact, Nebuchadnezzar wouldn't even tell them the dream. He wanted his servants, or the Chaldeans, he wanted them to tell him the dream. Because he thought they would just make something up. But our Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, he gave Daniel the vision. He told Daniel, he sent his angels to tell Daniel the dream and to break down the dream to him that Nebuchadnezzar had. So, matter of fact, I'll start at verse 27. because hey, you have many different sorcerers, many different wizards, prognosticators, seers, mediums, doing all manner of witchcrafts that can tell you the future, that can tell you your fortune, your horoscope, whatever, to tell that foresee good things for Babylon the Great, or that can just see anything. You know, you have this world has many different kinds of witches, wizards, and this is how this country, Babylon the Great, is where it is today. You know, through its whoredoms, through its witchcrafts, through its sorceries. But none of these wizards, sorcerers, any of them can tell you what's going on right now. You know, none of these you know, sorcerers, witches, any of that can tell you the truth for the Bible. So this is Daniel chapter 2 and verse 27. Daniel answered in the presence of the king and said, the secret which the king hath demanded, cannot the wise men, the astrologers, the magicians, and the soothsayers showed it unto the king. But there is, so just showing that none of these wizards or anything like that could break down this vision to the king. They couldn't even tell him what his dream was. But there is a power in heaven that revealeth secrets, and maketh known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in the latter days. Thy dream and the visions of thy head upon thy bed are these. So, our power, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, revealed all these things. He reveals his secrets to the prophets, which Daniel was a prophet. So, Nebuchadnezzar, he had a dream, which I'll get into it. He had a dream of a great statue, which was representative of different kingdoms. And these were representative of the days after him, in the latter days, all the way up until today, the days that we're in now. And we're in the last days of the last days. This is Daniel chapter 2 and verse 29. As for thee, O king, thy thoughts came into thy mind upon thy bed, what should come to pass hereafter. And he that revealeth secrets maketh known to thee what shall come to pass. But as for me, this secret is not revealed to me for any wisdom that I have more than any living. So this secret wasn't made known to Daniel for his own wisdom, but for their sakes that shall make known the interpretation of the king, and that thou mightest know the thoughts of thy heart. So, this vision was made known for us in the latter times. You know, for those that would believe. And also for them in this time, or in Daniel's time, because all the wise men were getting ready to be killed if this vision wasn't broken down. But this is just to show the power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. But as for me, this secret is not revealed to me for any wisdom that I have more than any living, but for their sakes that shall make known the interpretation to the king, and that thou mightest know the thoughts of thy heart. Thou, O king, sawest, and behold, a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, Slakia, and the form thereof was terrible. So Nebuchadnezzar was seeing a great statue, which says here is an image. This image's head was of fine gold, his breasts and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay. So this image's head was of gold. Matter of fact, which this image of gold was representing the Babylonians, Nebuchadnezzar himself. And his breasts and his arms of silver representing the Persians and the Medes. And this image represents different kingdoms that would rule the world. His arms, his breasts and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass. That brass represented the Grecian kingdom, the Hellenes, which was ruled over by Alexander the Great, or the Greek. His legs of iron, that representing the Roman Empire. His feet part of iron and part of clay. So now you're in these last days. The feet part iron and part clay, meaning that they don't. How do you say? They don't mix. Iron and clay don't mix. Matter of fact, I can jump down and read, or, well, let me finish this. But iron and clay do not mix, because one is strong, the other is weak. And what you see today, whether you have NATO, the EU, and you have different countries that are financially strong, financially weak, militarily strong, militarily weak. And these different countries, they really don't mix. That's why a few years ago you had Brexit, which was Britain exiting the EU. Because they were financially stronger than a lot of the other countries, but they have to foot the bill for a lot of the countries. So, verse 34, Daniel chapter 2 and verse 34, thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet, that were of iron and clay, and brake them to pieces. So that stone that was cut without hands, that's Yahushua, the kingdom that's coming. And this is what the disciples were asking, because they're in that. Well, they were in the iron during Yahushua's time, and they were asking, when are you coming back? When are you going to smite the kingdom? When are you going to destroy this image? When is the kingdom going to be Israel's? Daniel chapter 2 and verse 34, thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet, that were of iron and clay, and brake them to pieces. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors, and the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain, and filled the whole earth. So, all these different kingdoms, even the memory of them is going to be gone away when Yahushua returns and he builds his kingdom. And right now you're seeing the kingdom being built up through what you see, the men of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua rising up in these last days and prophesying. What you're seeing in these last days is the Israelites, the Spirit entering back into us and us standing up on our feet. And this is scaring the elites because they know their time is up. So verse 36, this is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Thou, O king, art a king of kings, for the power of heaven have given thee a kingdom, power and strength and glory. And wheresoever the children, and wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of heaven, he given into thine hand, and have made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold. So Daniel's telling Nebuchadnezzar, you're that head of gold. You're the head of the statue. And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which that inferior kingdom was the Persians and the Medes. And the kingdom of brass. And if you look at the statue, it goes from gold. That's that's the most precious. It's a precious metal. It's the most precious metal that there is here on earth, which you have other ones. But in this vision, the gold is the most precious. But it doesn't matter when Yahushua returns, Yahushua's kingdom is going to outdo all those. But just going, if you look at the statue, that head of gold, then it goes to silver, and then it goes into brass, and then the iron. Each one of these metals is more inferior, less precious. All the way, I'll keep reading. Daniel chapter 2 and verse 39. And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. That's Alexander the Great. And the fourth kingdom shall be as strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, it shall break in pieces and bruise. So that's iron. Iron is what? It's the most common, meaning that it's not precious at all. You know, if you got a magnet and you just walk around in like a dirt, hey, that magnet is gonna pick up all the little iron deposits. You know, iron is not it's not rare. Iron is very common. And it's not even, you look at the stuff that's made out of iron, it's not beautiful. You know, it's not things like, even brass sculptures and whatnot are more beautiful than iron sculptures. You know, silver, gold, those are very beautiful. But iron is very, it's how do you say, like brutish. It's just, hey, how you doing? Morning. Iron is just a common thing. You know, it's not nothing spectacular about it, but what it's used for is to break, beat down, like it says. Daniel chapter 2 and verse 40, and the fourth kingdom shall be as strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh into pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. So that's pretty much, iron is used for just beating stuff, breaking stuff down, chopping wood. You know, making an axe head, making a sword. You know, that's what it's good for. You know, beating stuff down. Verse 41, and whereas thou sawest the feet and the toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. And as the toes of the feet were part iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. So the same thing you have today. You have a partly strong kingdom, and it's weak as well. And that division, it can't stand. Like Yahushua said, he said, a kingdom divided shall not stand. Roughly paraphrasing. Verse 43, and whereas thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seeds of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. And the same thing that you have today. You know, you have Babylon the Great, America, also known as the Great Melting Pot, and you have all these nations trying to mix together, but they don't mix. You know, that's different. All these different nations that this whore has been heaping to herself, they don't mix. You know, each nation, which all came from either Ham, Shem, or Japheth, each of these nations, which we're all here, everybody on here is a descendant of Noah. You're either from Ham, Shem, or Japheth, but everyone here, and we don't all mix, even though we all come from that same line. Or we had that same predecessor. So let's see here. Freaking flies, man. Gross. Let me see here. And being that we're in that fourth empire, let me go here to Daniel chapter 7. All right, this is Daniel chapter 7, and I'll start at verse 7. After this I saw in a night vision, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. So those 10 horns represent different vassal states. And today they would represent the EU nations. But here, this great beast, let me see here, it had great iron teeth and devoured and brake in pieces. So that great beast, it had a strong military. And that iron teeth, that represents its military, as well as the iron weapons that the Romans had. Everything that they did, they broke all their enemies to pieces. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. So let me go jump to this real quick. This is Daniel chapter 7 and verse 17. These great beasts, which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth. So this beast here represents 4 different kingdoms, and this represents here the Roman Empire. So I'm going to jump from here to First Maccabees chapter 8 to show how this beast was diverse from the previous beasts, because what you had in that time before the Roman Empire, which I believe democracy had started in Greece, but all the Roman Empire really did was they took all the ideas of the people that were before them, and they just took the stuff that worked. They're not really that original. Even going back to their gods go back to Greece and the different the nations that were before them. So when you look at, consider the Roman Empire like the Borg, in a sense, from Star Trek. They're just going around absorbing everything. And the Roman Empire the same way. They go around absorbing everything, and they whatever they do like, that's what they'll do. People like to think that civilization and all this stuff started with the Greeks and the Romans, but it was before them. Civilization, they started way before they did. But that's just how these people think, But Salakia, this is First Maccabees chapter 8, and I'll start at verse 11. It was told him besides how they destroyed and brought under their dominion all other kingdoms and isles that at any time resisted them. Now this is speaking of the Roman Empire. But with their friends and such as relied upon them, they kept amity, and that they had conquered kingdoms both far and nigh, insomuch as all that heard of their name were afraid of them. So this is, what is this? This is Judas had heard of the fame of the Romans, which you can read about that in the first verse. Judas is hearing about all the things that the Romans were doing. They're subduing all these different kingdoms. Everybody that hears about them is afraid of them because how they're doing. They're going around conquering everybody. Anybody wants to come up against them, hey, they're gonna beat them. And this was because Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai gave them that power. Matter of fact, before I continue on, let me go to this. This is Daniel chapter 4 and verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth over it the basis of men. So the Most High, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, rules in this kingdom, and he sets up whoever he wants to, and who he set up in these times is the basis of men, the lowest of the low, Esau, Edom, the border of wickedness, the wicked. So just to identify, this is an identifier, because all the nations are in the scriptures. This isn't just this isn't the Arabs, this isn't Japhet. This man is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. This is who he is. And Esau Edom, his blessing was the sword. You know, he was a cunning hunter. Oh, well, I can get them precepts. But hey, this is Esau Edom. This is who's ruling right now. That cunning hunter. Let's see, what was I getting? Oh, yeah. This is Psalm chapter 75, and I'll start off at verse 6. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. So you being promoted, your kingdom, you being raised up to be a king or anything like that. All the kingdoms that are ruling, hey, they didn't do this on their own. It didn't come from the east, the west, the south, no, the north. It didn't come from any of that. It didn't come from any direction. But Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is the judge. So Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is the judge of the whole earth. He putteth down one and setteth up another. So he puts down one kingdom and sets up another. And going back to Daniel 2, you read Daniel 7 and referring to Daniel 4 and 17, and the Most High, he raised up the Babylonians, he put them down. He raised up the Persians and the Medes, he put them down. He raised up the Greeks, he put them down. The same thing, he raised up the Romans. And he's getting ready to put them down. For good. Because they ruled, and then their kingdom, that civilization went down. And now it's back in these days. It was revived. What you're looking at is the revived Roman Empire. Because, hey, I'll even go back to that, but all these kingdoms, they're set up to rule. They're set up to this by Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. So back to 1 Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 11. It was told him besides how that they destroyed and brought under their dominion all other kingdoms and isles that at any time resisted them. Why? Because Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai was with them to conquer. They were that beast that stamped everything, that crushed everything before it. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai gave them that power to do that. But with their friends and such as relied upon them, they kept amity. So whoever they wanted to be friends with, that's who they would be friends with. The same thing today. You see that Babylon the Great, America, who's their number one friend, their number one ally? The small hats, Israel. Not the actual Israelites, but their Amalek. But with their friends and such as relied upon them, they kept amity. And that they... So let me read that again. But with their friends and such as relied upon them, they kept amity, and that they had conquered kingdoms both far and nigh, insomuch as all that heard of their name were afraid of them. And the Roman Empire, that was the largest empire at the time. You know, they ruled all that known world at the time. Also that whom they would help to a kingdom, those reign, and whom again they displace. And you see the same thing today. Whoever America, Babylon the Great wants to help, they'll help them. Whoever they want to displace, that's who they'll displace. And set up their own rulers, set up their own puppet dictators to do the will of Babylon the Great. Yet for all this, none of them wore a crown, or was clothed in purple to be magnified thereby. And this is what made them diverse. You know, none of them wore a crown. Here in Babylon the Great, the same thing. None of the people wear a crown. They have a Caesar. I mean, they have a president. But in Roman Empire, they had Caesars. Yet for all this, none of them wore a crown or was clothed in purple to be magnified thereby. Moreover, how they had made for themselves a senate house. It's the same thing today. You have a senate house today, wherein 320 men sat in council daily, consulting always for the people, to the end that they might be well ordered. So it is the same thing today. You have a Senate, you have House of Representatives, And I forgot what else. Dang, I need to brush up on that. But the same thing today. You have the Senate. That's the main point. You have a Senate today. They're discussing all these matters. That's what made them diverse. They discussed all these. They had a huge council. They didn't have a king. The same thing, the Roman Empire, you see the same thing today. That which is then is now. And that they committed their government to one man every year, who ruled over all their country, and that they were obedient to that one, and that there was neither envy nor emulation amongst them. So again, just going back to Roman Empire, they had Caesars, they had elections. The same thing you have today. Instead of Caesars, we have presidents. The same thing today. You have elected officials. But just showing you how this kingdom was diverse and how it mirrors this kingdom today. So again, back to Daniel chapter 7 and verse 7. After this, I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth, and devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. Verse 8, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there was 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. So this little horn that plucked up, this represents America. Because here in the land of America, which means bitterness, if you go back to the root word of America, Amerigo, it means bitter. You had 3 kingdoms that were here: the Spanish, the French, and the British. And those represent those 3 horns that were plucked up, because America came up out of the British. You know, it was one of the colonies. The 13 colonies came up out of the British. And this land here, it plucked them all up, and this is what became a great kingdom, what it is today. Daniel chapter 7 and verse 8. I considered the horns, behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there was 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn there were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things. You know, representing today. You know, this devil has eyes everywhere, representing the draconian measures. You know, matter of fact, let me go here to Revelation. The 13. This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So the 2 horns represent the 2-party system. You know, you have the Republicans and the Democrats, and it's coming like a lamb. It's coming like it's peaceful. You know, a lamb is docile, it's peaceful. It comes with that presentation, like it's there to help you. Matter of fact, I think that, I don't remember which president, but he had a quote saying, you know, the last thing that you want to hear, you know, if you're in trouble or an emergency or whatever, is that, you know, hey, we're from the government and we're here to help you. You know, which they're not here to help you. So, Revelation chapter 13 and verse 11, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And that dragon, going back to to draconian measures, meaning harsh judgment for any little thing. And this is what's coming back on the earth. If you look at how this devil has treated the so-called Israelite, or not the so-called Israelites, but the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Israelites here in America, putting us into slavery, putting the so-called Indians, the northern tribes, on reservations, killing them, slaughtering them, driving them off their land, putting them in the worst land here in America. You look at anything after the hardships, the deplorable conditions in slavery. This devil made Jim Crow laws, which if you go back to the Emancipation Declaration, or Emancipation Proclamation, I think it's called, all it did was transfer, ownership. It wasn't actually freeing the slaves. It wasn't actually freeing the so-called blacks. All it did was transfer the ownership to the prisons. So now, yeah, you're free, but slavery is okay under a prison. So what did they come up with after the slaves were released from prisons? They made it to where they couldn't get jobs. They made it to where anything that they were doing, if they were loitering, if they were being, pretty much loitering, any little thing, that would throw them in prison and become slaves all over again. There's a very disproportionate, the population that gets sent to prison with the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that get sent to prison, compared to the other nations, it's very disproportionate. But these are all part of the curses. This is part of having your enemy rule over you. Your enemy having no mercy on you. So also a part of that dragon, for any little thing, you can go to prison. The same thing today. This devil will set up things. What I'm thinking about right now is in California, you shouldn't be stealing anyway. But, they made it to where you can steal up to, a certain amount of money, a certain amount of goods, up to $1,000, I think. They made it like that for a few years. So what did Jake go out and do? They started stealing up to that minimum amount. Because they figured they'd get away with it, which you shouldn't be stealing anyway. But this devil, he made it like that. He made it to where, okay, we're not going to prosecute them. We're not going to do anything to them. We're going to encourage them, by making these laws lax, by not allowing, business owners or anybody to do anything. And we're going to encourage this theft. And now, guess what? Now it's a felony to be caught stealing. I'm not sure how much the amount changed, but pretty much they lured all these Jake in to start stealing, and now they're enforcing the law again. So this devil will do stuff like that. But going back to that dragon, is very harsh punishment. He's very harsh. So back to matter of fact, let me go back to Matthew. Because this beast, this devil, it's that this is a man. This is a man here on earth. This is a kingdom that's ruling right now. This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately, saying, "Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world?" So the end of this age, the end of Esau's age, the end of this Roman Empire, the end of this kingdom that's ruling right now. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, "Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am anointed, and shall deceive many." So you have many people out there that are deceiving. Whether they call themselves Israelites, Christians, pastors, whatever, they're deceiving the people. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. So you're gonna hear of different wars going on around the world. You're gonna hear rumors of wars. This might pop off. This might pop off. What's going on right now? You have the going on in Israel, the small hats fighting a war on many different fronts. That stage being set up in the Middle East, in the Valley of Yehoshaphat. Matter of fact, where is that? That's what's one of the major things that we're waiting for is World War III to pop off. We hearing about different wars, and we see World War III building up. So this is Joel chapter 3, and I'll start at verse 1. For behold, in those days, with the end days, the end times. For behold, in those days, and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. So this is what's being happening. Judah and Jerusalem, which is all of Israel as a whole, both the northern and southern kingdom, were being reunited by this word. The word is going out into all the world via the internet. So, and we're being gathered by this word, and ultimately the elect are going to be gathered into the chariots and the so-called UFOs, UAPs. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people. And that doesn't mean to beg. That means to judge. He's going to judge the nations. I will also gather them down into the valley of Yehoshaphat, which means Yahweh's judgment. Yahweh meaning he is, he exists, he to be, and Shaphat meaning judgment. This is in the Middle East. I will plead with them there for my people. And if you look at what's going on around the world, the countries, the nations of the world are all being gathered there. The eyes are on that place. I will also gather all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Yehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people, and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations, and parted my land. So our land has been parted, and we've been scattered amongst all the different nations, and we're being gathered from amongst the different nations by this word. So who parted the land? The heathen nations. The number one being Amalek, the Edomites. Who's ruling right now? Matter of fact, before I get that, let me go ahead. This is Job chapter 9. This is Job chapter 9 and verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof, If not, where and who is he? So the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. Going back to what Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai said, he said he gives he rules in the kingdom of men and giveth it to whomsoever he will. And he gave it into the hands of the wicked, the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. So he covered the faces of the judges. The main judge being Yahweh, his son Yahushai, the angels. He covered up their faces. He made them like white leprous men. All you got to do is look at iconoclasm, Russian icons, that kind of thing. They painted over the images. They put their own image up, which iconoclasm means, icon meaning image, clasm meaning destruction. So they destroyed the images and put up their own images. They set themselves up as the Most High. So the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where? If not, where and who is he? So who is it? Who is this wicked man? Who is this wicked man that's deceiving the whole world? Let me go from there to Malachi. Malachi chapter 1. And I'll get straight to the point. Verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai of hosts. They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. That's the point. They're the border of wickedness. Wherever they go, Esau, Edom, wickedness follows them. Wickedness is right there with them. Wherever they go, suddenly people start dying. Your leaders get replaced. Your women start wanting liberation. Your laws start wanting to get changed. All kinds of things happen. Your water starts getting poisoned. All of a sudden, you just found some, they even had the meme about that. You just found some oil. You just found some oil in your land or whatever like that. It looks like you need some democracy. But this is them. This is that wickedness, that border of wickedness. So again, Malachi chapter 1 and verse 4, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai of hosts. They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai have indignation forever. So who the Lord has righteous anger towards forever. This is them. This is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. It doesn't matter how much you want to try to save them or anything like that. They're not going to be saved. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai hates them. And that hate doesn't mean he just loves them a little bit less. No, he fucking hates you. Matter of fact, where was I going? Matter of fact, another prophecy before I go too far. Because, this devil was set to rule in the end times. Another one, let's go here. 2nd Esdras chapter 6, as soon as I can get it. Hey, how y'all doing? Matter of fact, I'm gonna read it in the KJV and I'm gonna get it again in the GNT. So this here, second Esdras. Matter of fact, let me see if I want to. This is second Esdras chapter 9. And I'll start at verse 1. This is second Esdras chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So, measure the time diligently. You know how you can measure the time? By the prophecies. You know, different things happening. How should I say? He said there will be wars, rumors of wars. You're seeing wars breaking out right now. Different wars. He said you see uproars of the people, earthquakes. Matter of fact, let me go back to that and I'll come back to this. I feel like I'm a little bit all over the place, but hey, Lord willing, this is making sense. This is Matthew 24 and verse 4. Not 4, I'm sorry. Verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise up against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. So what you're going to see is wars, civil wars, different wars breaking out. That main one that we're waiting to break out is World War III. That's going to tell us how close we are. Because once World War III breaks out, which it's already in that preliminary stages. The pieces are being set up. The MOTB, that's another end time sign. Once the MOTB is implemented, mandated, that you can't participate, you can't function in the society without it. That's how we know how close we are. Because once the MOTB is implemented, this internet is cut off. You're not going to see the prophets out here teaching anymore. Hey, that's how close we know how we are, or how close we know we are. So, for nation shall rise up against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places. So you're going to see famines breaking out. Is there not famines now? Is there not articles going out about expect empty store shelves, grocery store shelves in 2025? Is there not pestilences breaking out? Is there not new ones constantly breaking out? Whether it be, avian, the H, the C, the new one, something with pneumonia, the new one breaking out in China. All kinds of things. Sexually transmitted diseases. High. It's showing you that Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai is visiting the earth. And you're measuring the times. So, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. You're seeing earthquakes breaking out all over. Then shall they deliver. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So this is just the beginning. But this is how you measure the time. Through the prophecies. Oops. So back to Ezekiel chapter 9, second Esdras chapter 9. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai is visiting the world. You can see it through the signs. The signs are like a road marker. Telling you you're this close, you're this close. Now, you don't know exactly, you can't tell the time and date. But, hey, the prophecies tell you how close we are. Verse 3, therefore when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. So even in the KJV, it references Matthew 24, telling you that these are linked. This is talking about the same thing. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. Now you're seeing uproars all over the world, protests all over, different people rising up against their governments. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai spake all these things. He said everything was going to happen that's happening. Verse 5, for like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and the end, and an end, and the end is manifest. So everything has a beginning and an end, and this is the end of this age, the end of this time. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. So this is the end. You're seeing the end. The different phenomena is going on around the world. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's scary to the people of the world because they have no idea what's going on. But those that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai has awoken, that has given his truth, that has given his name, Yahweh, his son's name, Yahweh Shai, that is woken up, it's beautiful to us. It's scary, it's terrifying, but it's also beautiful because we know all these things that are happening, and these are ushering in the kingdom of Yahweh Shai, the kingdom of Israel. So from here, I'm going to go to, I'm already here. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 6. And I'll start at verse 6. Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other. So these were made, everything that was made through Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. By me alone they shall also be ended, and by none other. So Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, he created all these things, and he's going to end all these things. Then answered I, and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? So what's gonna separate these times? How are we gonna tell? How are we gonna know about these times? When shall be the ending of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? So what's the ending of the first? That first being Esau Edom's age. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand first held the heel Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. So when you go back to Jacob and Esau, how they were born, Jacob was born, first of all, they were fighting in the womb. The same thing today. You know, these two different kingdoms, and we're in a fight against each other. You know, even though we're here, we're here in this kingdom, we're under his captivity, we're under his rule. We don't mesh together. We're two separate kingdoms, two manners of people. So this is Genesis chapter 25 and verse 21. And Isaac entreated Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai for his wife, because she was barren. And Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. So Rebekah, she couldn't conceive for until Isaac went to ask Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai for her. And Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai said unto her, verse 22, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. So back in those days, you visited a prophet. You went to a prophet to to ask Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, questions. So let me get this real quick. This is This is 1 Samuel chapter 9 and verse 9. Before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of the Most High, thus he spake, come and let us go to the seer, for he that is now called a prophet was before time called a seer. So before, in the old days, in the old times, you would go to a prophet or a seer, and they would ask Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, on behalf of you, what's going on. So this is basically what happened. Rebecca, she went to a prophet. The prophet, went to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, and Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai told him what's going on. And the prophets were just messengers. They really were just messengers. We just relayed a message of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Genesis chapter 25 and verse 22. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. And Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. So you have 2 manner of people in your womb. And if you go to it, this is the righteous and the wicked. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, we're all, he was there in the womb. And Jacob being the righteous. And when her days, and matter of fact, let me keep reading. And Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. So there are 2 separate people. These are 2 different kinds of people. And the one people shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. So the younger one is going to be stronger than the elder. It's going to be better all around. The elder is going to serve the younger. And right now, we're serving the elder in this kingdom. But it soon is going to be turned around. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. So he came out red all over. He looked like a premature, a premature child, a stillborn. He had no pigment. Verse 26, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob, which when you look into the word Jacob, it means Yaiquab. It means heel holder or supplanter. So they were fighting in the womb. And when they were born, Jacob's hand came out holding them like this ain't over yet. It ain't done. And if you can receive it through the spirit, this is that same thing that's getting ready to happen when Yahushua returns. He's getting ready to crush the heel of that statue. And guess who that heel is? That the heel is Esau, Edom. So, the way, the symbolism, the imagery that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua uses is beautiful. So this here, the same thing I'm gonna go back into the 2nd Esdras 6, the same thing in this time, showing you. So again, Genesis chapter 25 and 26, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. So, why did it describe Esau? Because it's describing him how he looked. Back in that time, nobody looked like this on the earth. To have leprosy, they thought he was dead. That's what Esau means, wasted away. Wasted away is he. And after that came his brother out, And why isn't Jacob described? Because he looked normal. He looked like everybody else. Everybody was dark skinned back then. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter. And that means to be a wise hunter, a knowledgeable hunter. You know, that was back then. You know, Esau, Edom, which I'm looking at a bunch of, he was a very knowledgeable hunter. You know, a knowledge in deception, camouflage, which you see today. You know, you see the, the different ways that Esau, Edom is able to deceive. You know, whether it be, you know, through the animal sense, through the hunting knowledge, through his weaponry, through his technology. And this is him coming back. Genesis chapter 25 and verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. And so Jacob was a homebody. He was just chilling, like to just chill. He didn't want to be out in the field, do all that stuff. He didn't have to. And I'll continue reading to the end of the chapter. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob sought pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. So Jacob, first, Isaac loved Esau's cooking because he liked that Esau can get down on the pit. And Jacob sought pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. So Jacob was cooking, and Esau came in from the field, and he had no, Yahweh Shem Yahushua wasn't with him that day on hunting. You know, he could have, however he had it work in the spirit, whether he drove the animals away, had an extra hungry spirit on Esau, Edom, you know, and however Yahweh Shem Yahushua made it play out. But this is the events. You're seeing what happened, all the way what's leading up to today. These events that happened that were thousands of years ago shaped the present world that we're in today. So this seemingly nothing, just a small event. You know, this is only a few verses in the scripture. This shaped the world that we're in today. And Jacob sought pottage, and Esau came from the field. He was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, "Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint." Therefore was his name called Edom, and Edom means red, or Adawam. And Jacob said, "Sell me this day thy birthright." So Jacob said, because back in the ancient world, the firstborn, you know, all the rest would serve the firstborn. He would be the leader. So in that time, that's who was set to rule, Esau. But the way the prophecy, first of all, prophecy cannot be broken. Prophecy cannot go around. You can't go around it. You can't break up prophecy. You can't disannul prophecy. Prophecy has to happen. And what was the prophecy that was told to Rebekah? The elders shall serve the younger. So you're seeing prophecy play out in the scriptures. So again, Genesis chapter 25 and verse 30, and Esau said to Jacob, "Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint." Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, "Sell me this day thy birthright." So Jacob told Esau, "Sell me your birthright this day, right now. Here, if you want some of this food, sell me your birthright." And Esau said, "Behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me?" So Esau, he's so hungry, showing you how Esau is just a carnal man. You know, that he's a fleshly man. You know, that two separate nations that were in the womb. This is Esau. He's like, what? And Esau said, "Behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me?" So what's this birthright gonna do to me? What? I'm about to die. What profit is this? There's no profit in this. I'm about to die. I need to eat right now. I need to fill my belly. And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he sware to him. And he sold his birthright unto Jacob. So Esau Edom, he was weak. But really, hey, Yahweh Shem Yahushai set this up. He set it up to happen like this. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up, and went his way, and Esau despised his birthright. So Esau, hey, because of that, Esau hated his birthright. He didn't see the importance of it. And now, but hey, later, it came back to mind. I'll get that, Lord. I'll go ahead and jump to it. But it came to mind to him later, because he wasn't thinking about it. Showing that this man is a carnal man. He's a snake. He's a sellout. He's only thinking about his belly, what he can get. But meanwhile, hey, he had it, which he didn't really, because Yahweh Shem Yahushai gives these things to whosoever he will. And Jacob is set to rule after these days. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to chapter 27. And I'm going to 27, and I'm going to start at verse 27. And he came near and kissed him. This is when Isaac is blessing Jacob. But Jacob has disguised himself as Esau. He put on a hairy garment. He put goat's fur on his arms. Because in those days, Isaac had gone blind. So we couldn't tell. But this is also, if you can see it through the spirit, this is how Yahweh Shem Yahushai set it up. Because the elder shall serve the younger. And Jacob came out second. Jacob is the younger brother, even though they're twins. This is Genesis chapter 27 and verse 27. And he came near and kissed him, and smelled his raiment, and blessed him, and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field, which Yahweh Shem Yahushai hath blessed. Therefore the Most High give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine, and let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be everyone that blesseth thee. So, hey, Jacob, he received the ultimate blessing. Nations are going to serve you. You're going to be blessed beyond comprehension. And you're going to be so blessed. Hey, it's going to be beautiful. Your brothers are going to serve you. Your brother is going to serve you. His children. That goes into his children, all the nations. Everyone is going to serve you. Verse 30, and it came to pass as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out of the presence of Isaac, his father, that Esau, his brother, came in from hunting. So, I'm going to jump down. I'm going to jump down to verse 33. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, who? Where is he that hath taken venison, and brought it me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him. Yea, and he shall be blessed. So it's like, ooh, man, he's gonna be blessed. Oh man, he's gonna be blessed. Oh man, I blessed him. I gave him the ultimate blessing. Woo! But hey, man, he's gonna be blessed. Man, it was making, having a little fun. Verse 34, and when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety, and have taken away thy blessing. So, hey, Jacob he came in subtle. That was smooth. But he got the idea from his mother, but still, Jacob, supplanter. He supplanted that blessing. He got that blessing from Esau, which Esau really, and he wasn't holding up his end of the deal, because that was rightfully Jacob's blessing, because he sold it to him. Verse 36, and he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? So, hey, Esau, lying. Thinking that making it to where looking like Jacob tricked him, which he didn't trick him. You despise your birthright. You didn't want it. If it was so important to you, why'd you sell it? You despised your birthright. You had contempt for it. You looked at it as a dirty thing. Verse 37, and Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord. I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Esau started crying, like a little bitch that he is. Probably snot bubbles. It says in Hebrews, he sought it carefully with tears. But he was already rejected. Esau has been rejected. Snot all coming out, face all red. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing? My father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and thou shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So, what's Esau's blessing? The fatness of the earth. He's everywhere that you want to be. He's got the best places to live. Meanwhile, Jake, you're living in slums, in barrios, in reservations, in ghettos. But Esau, Edom, how did he get all these lands? How did he get all these places? Through his sword, through lying, through deception, through slaughter, through rape, through murder. This is how he got to where he is. His blessing is his sword. This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Did you not lead the Israelites into captivity? Did you not have your way with us? Did you not do whatever you wanted to us? Yeah, you did all that. You raped, you murdered, you castrated, you hung, you lynched, you burned, you destroyed lands, you destroyed heritages. And the list goes on and on. The list is so long that it reaches up to the heavens. You've done so much stuff that we only know a percentage of the wickedness that you've done in the earth. But Revelation chapter 13 and verse 10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. So you led the nations into captivity, the number one being the Israelites. Who cares about the other nations? But the Israelites were scattered into every nation. You had a major role in this. You had a major part in this. You killed us with your sword, which was your blessing. You did all this. So guess what? That day, that's going to return on you. He that killeth with the sword, must be killed with the sword. So, hey, that's your blessing. Just going back to that. And then to close this out, this is Genesis chapter 27, verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. So he held on to that anger, that perpetual hatred. He held on to that forever. And you can see it through his people today. You can see it in the Edomites today. The kind of hatred, it's almost unreal, the kind of hatred that Edomites have for the so-called Negroes, the so-called Latinos and Native Americans. You go on any of these comment boards, any of these Edomite sites or wherever, and you see that hatred they have for us. It's like, man, what the fuck did we do to you? Hey, Jacob's really the one that should be hating you. The kind of hell that you put on us. Let's go back to Ezekiel. I'm sorry, I got Ezekiel on the mind. Lord, will I go back to that? This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 6. This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, and I'll start at verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. So we just read that. The same thing. Hey, Jacob's hand held Esau's heel. The same thing in these times. And us waking up, rising up in the spirit, coming back into the knowledge of who we are, the Israelites. Hey, we're rising up. But ultimately, Yahushua, he's gonna break the heel of Esau. He's gonna bring down these kingdoms. He's gonna bring down this wicked kingdom. This is verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So Esau is the end, and Jacob is the beginning that followeth. So back to what the disciples were asking Yahushua, hey, when is the end of this world? When is the end of Esau's age? When is the end of his rulership? In the beginning, because Jacob is set to rule after that. So let me get this again, because in the GNT, which I like it somewhat, I like, the NLT, the AMP, the GNT, which some of the scriptures they bring out are good, but not all of them. But some of them they bring out, some light. So again, that's 1st Ezra. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6, and I'll get right to the point. Verse 9. Esau represents the end of this age. So Esau is the end of the age. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the wicked that's ruling right now, who the earth has been given into the hands of. This is who's ruling right now. So when you're looking at the different signs, the times that we're in, Esau, Edom is ruling right now. You have none other than to look at who's ruling. Who's ruling? What's going on the earth? Look at all the wickedness going on. Wickedness have exceedingly polluted the earth. Who's ruling? The wicked. The nigga that sold his birthright for some uncooked meat. The nigga whose blessing is a sword. The nigga who's going around the earth killing and blaming it on other people. He'll go around and kill. But it's these people are the problem. This man has record numbers in killing. But it's you. You're the problem, Jake. You're the problem. So again, 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 9 in the GNT, Esau represents the end of this age, and Jacob represents the beginning of the new age. So Jacob's hand represents the beginning of the new age. What was that? Going back to Daniel. That kingdom, that stone that was formed without hands, representing Yahushua, representing Yahushua's kingdom that's coming. The kingdom of Israel that's set to rule after this. This is what it's representing. So if Jacob's heel is the beginning and Jacob's hand, Salakia, so if Jacob's hand is the beginning and Esau's heel is the end, do not try to find a space in between. So also letting you know that hand holding the heel, there's no space in between. As soon as Esau's kingdom goes down, Jacob's kingdom is coming up. The kingdom of Israel is coming up right after. There's not going to be any other kingdom ruling between that. It's just straight to the kingdom after that. This is the last kingdom to rule. Where was I? Okay, let me look at Ezekiel real quick, because I was holding that. This is Ezekiel chapter 36 and verse 1. Also, thou son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel, and say, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because the enemy has said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are ours in our possession. So this is what the enemy says. Hey, even then, now, right now, the small hats are in the kingdom. They're in Israel. They have possession of that land. And they're looking to take the entire land over. This is what they're calling the Greater Israel Project. So they're gloating about this. They're looking to build a third temple, all this stuff. So they're saying, aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession. So they think that they think they're fulfilling prophecy, which they are in this sense, but not that they're the people. Because the enemy had said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession. Therefore prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen, and ye are taken up in the lips of talkers, and are an infamy of the people. So this is what happened. We've been swallowed up on every side. We've been scattered into the different nations. Going back to the curses. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28. And I'll start at verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So all these curses from Deuteronomy chapter 28:15 on down, these curses would pursue us, overtake us. And you're seeing the results of that today. And I'll read around a little bit in chapter 28. So this is verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. So even the stranger, Esau, Edom, the foreigners, and they're gonna be amongst us, and they're gonna be very high amongst us. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. And that's what we're looking at in this society. He's the head, Esau, Edom, and we're the tail. If you want to he's going to lend to us. We got to go to his banks, his institutions. We got to go to our enemy for the one of all things. He's the head, we're the tail. I'm going to jump down. Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. He shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Now you can even look up the yoke of iron. And the first images that pop up are going to be so-called black people. And it says we shall serve our enemy for want of all things, in hunger and thirst and in nakedness. So we have to go to our enemy for everything. And again, verse 49, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the ends of the earth, as swift as the eagle fleeth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. So hey, even then, this nation, Esau Edom, what's his symbol? The eagle. And when they came and got us, what were they speaking? Different Latin languages. You know, whether it be romantic languages, whether it be English, Spanish, French, Portuguese, whatever. He's going to be speaking a different language that we couldn't understand. Verse 50, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the persons of the old, nor show favor to the young. So this nation, hey, you look at them, they still look at that fierce countenance, like the eagle, that proud look. And they don't regard the old or the young. They hate you. And this is part of that Esau's perpetual hatred going on his children. And I'm going to go to verse 64. And Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even to the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So hey, all our captivities that we've been into, we served other gods. And this captivity here that I'm referring to, the transatlantic slave trade, the trans-Pacific, all these different ones, hey, we had to serve their gods. We were scattered to the one end of the other, serving their gods. The main ones being Christianity and Islam. That wooden cross, that stone that's in Mecca. Verse 65, among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. So you're only going to have heartbreak here. You're going to have health problems, heartbreak, depression, anxiety, all kinds of mental issues. And I'm going to jump down to verse 68. And Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. And now that we went into, this is spiritual Egypt. This is spiritual Sodom and spiritual Egypt. Where the bulk of our slavery took place. We came here in ships. Just look at this transatlantic slave trade. We never saw our homeland again. We were banished. And we were sold to our enemies for slaves, bondmen and bondwomen, that's slaves. And no man shall buy you. That means no one's going to come and save you. Nobody's going to redeem you. Doesn't mean that you're going to sell yourself into slavery and nobody's going to want to buy you. No, I don't need any slaves today. I'm good. I got everything I need. No, it don't mean that. It means nobody's coming to your rescue. Nobody's going to get you out of this situation. The same way, hey, I wasn't even 200 years ago, was it? No, it wasn't. Just during slavery. Nobody came to our rescue. None of the other nations came and said, hey, don't do that. That's my people. I want to buy them back. That never happened. Now you had some people come and save some of their people. Some people come and save some of their brethren. But that's very few and far between. And he might even say, well, black people sold other black people in slavery. So the fuck what? We're talking about you right now, Esau. You're always trying to get out of your punishment. So this is back to Ezekiel chapter 36 and verse 3. Therefore prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen, and that you are taken up in the lips of talkers, and are an infamy of the people. This curse is also said that we will be a proverb and a byword. meaning that we would be talked bad about, made jokes about. Therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh to the mountains and to the hills, and to the rivers, and to the valleys, to the desolate wastes, and to the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey and a derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession, and with all joy of their hearts, and with all the spiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. So you got this land for yourself. You took this upon yourself. You know, you appointed this land to yourself. You know, you did all this. So you got a thing coming to you. Verse 6, prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and to the valleys, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen. Therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, I have lifted up mine hand, surely the heathen that are about you, they shall bear their shame. But ye, O mountains of Israel, ye shall shoot forth your branches, and yield your fruit to my people of Israel, for they are at hand to come. For behold, I am for you, and I will turn unto you, and ye shall be tilled and sown, and I will multiply men upon you, all the house of Israel, and even all of it, and the cities shall be inhabited, and the waste shall be builded. And I will multiply upon you man and beast, and they shall increase and bring fruit, and I will settle you after your old estates, and will do better unto you than at your beginnings, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, he punished us. He gave us into the hands of the wicked. But Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is getting ready to show his love towards us. He's going to multiply us. He's going to increase us. He's going to bring us back. And at that same time, he's going to bring our enemies down. So, it's like I'm all over the place. This is Psalms. Matter of fact, this is Psalm chapter 137 and verse 7. Remember, O Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. So when we were being taken over, when we were being taken captive, the Edomites, they were saying, raise it. They were saying, destroy the temple, destroy all the memory of Jacob. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast rewarded of us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. And Edom is on record for doing that. You know, he used to take the babies of the northern kingdom, I think that was in Hispaniola, and dash them against the stones. But the point being here, remember Babylon. Remember what they did. Remember all their wickedness that they've done. And it says remember Edom. And in the next verse it says the daughter of Babylon. This is Edom. This is them, the daughter of Babylon. You know, this is that fourth kingdom. This is Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 6. Matter of fact, I'll start at verse 5. For Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power. So Israel is not forsaken. No matter how these Christians try to say that, go on about supersessionism, that salvation is for everybody. No, it's just only for the Israelites. These laws, statutes, commandments, only to the Israelites. Yahushua coming and redeeming his people through his blood. This is only for the Israelites. This kingdom of Israel that's coming, the kingdom of heaven, this is for the Israelites. For Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his God, of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. So though our land, though we sinned against our power, our land was filled with sin, filled with blood. And though we were kicked out of our land by Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, and we haven't been forsaken. Flee out of the midst of Babylon. And this is Babylon here. This is Babylon the Great. This land. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Now, when you look at ancient Babylon, it wasn't destroyed like that. It wasn't destroyed. It was just taken over by the Greeks. Babylon hath been a golden cup in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore the nations have gone mad. The nations are mad. So the nations have been made drunk. They've all drunk of this cup of Babylon. This is Revelation chapter 18 and verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. So this is the end of Babylon the Great. The end. Babylon the Great, and this verse is being destroyed. The same thing with Babylon now. This place is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear fire. It's only going to be inhabited by desert creatures. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and all the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. So all the nations of the earth, all the merchants here, they come here to get rich. They don't care about this place, Babylon. They only here to make money. And they're all committing, all the kings of the earth, all the rulers of the earth are committing fornication with her. They're all been made drunken, and they're all committing fornication with her. Whether it be their sorceries, their different philosophies, all manner of wickedness. But verse 4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. So they come out of her, my people. That's the chariots saving the elect, because this place is going to get a great judgment. Let me see here. This is Revelation chapter 17 and verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her with flesh, and burn her with fire. So these 10 horns that are upon the beast, these represent the NATO EU countries. They're all going to shoot their missiles upon this whore. The whore's judgment is to be burned with fire. So that's what's going to happen to this whore. She's going to be burnt up with fire by those that she thought was her allies. For the Most High have put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and to give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai shall be fulfilled. So this is that great whore. It's given to the nation, or the Lord put it on the nations to agree with this whore until the time be fulfilled. So when that time is up, they're all going to shoot their arrows on this whore. And the woman which thou sawest is the great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. And this is that place. So back to Revelation 18 and verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Because this place is going to be burnt up with fire. It's going to be destroyed with fire. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her as according to all her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. So she's going to get double portion, double destruction. How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. So she says, I sit a queen. I'm a queen forever. Nothing's ever going to happen to me. Nothing bad is ever going to happen to me. God bless America. Da 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 da. So we'll go to that. It referenced Isaiah 47, which I wanted to go to that.
Yeah. The hell, she's that kid that thinks she's passport.
This is Isaiah chapter 47, and I'll start at verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. So again, you could go to the blue letter and type in daughter of Babylon. The same thing. It's only going to be referring to Esau, Edom. You start off with that, that Psalms. But this is Babylon the Great, the daughter of Babylon the Great. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones, so you're no longer going to be called tender and delicate. You're being seen for the whore that you are. Take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the legs, uncover the thigh, and pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. So all your shame is being aired out. People coming out speaking against you, whistleblowers, your history coming out, how you do things all around the world, and the world is seeing everything. And like I started out in the beginning, you can see the strings on this whore. Oh, there's a string. Oh, you can see that. That's CGI. Everything is being known about you. All the wickedness that you've done all over the earth, all the whoring that you've done. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance. I will not meet thee as a man. So Yahushai, he's coming in his chariot. He's going to make war with you. He ain't going to meet you like a man. He's coming in with a great power. Revelation 1 and 7. 2 Esdras 13. Let me get this real quick. This is Revelation chapter 1 and verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. They also which pierced him. This is speaking of Yahushai. This is who's coming. This is who the disciples are, who Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai's, who Yahushai's disciples are patiently waiting for. This is who are waiting to return, to give the kingdom to Israel. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, Amen. So the earth is going to be mourning. All the people of the earth, all the people that aren't woken up, the non-Israelites, the 2/3, they're going to be mourning. Only the hopeful elect are going to be glad to see the chariots, glad to see Yahushai. And even then, we're going to be terrified. So, Yahushai is not going to meet you as a man. He's coming in that chariot, in that cloud. So again, Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 3, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, I will not meet thee as a man, As for our Redeemer, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent, and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. So you're no longer going to be the Lady of Kingdoms. Hey, it's over for you. All the remembrance of you, everything, hey, you're going into obscurity. You're going into darkness. You're going into slavery. And after that slavery is done, hey, you're going to be completely eradicated. Verse 6, I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and have given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou verily, very heavily laid thy yoke. Matter of fact, let me get this in the GNT. This is Isaiah 47, and I'll start at verse 5 in the GNT. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai says to Babylon, which is Babylon the Great, Mystery Babylon, America, this place here, Sodom and Egypt, spiritual Sodom and Egypt, the land of darkness. Says, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai says to Babylon, sit in silence and in darkness. No more will they call you the Queen of Nations. Verse 6, I was angry with my people. I treated them as no longer mine. So Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai treated us like we were no longer his. You go back to... He gave us into your hands. You go back to, Hosea? And I like that because, you think that the Israelites... it says that he should wear out the saints. You think that the Israelites are no longer here. You think that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai doesn't care about his people. You think that because nothing bad has happened to you, that hey, you can just keep going. When really, hey, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is just filling up your measure. You got a cup to measure to fill up. You're going to have to drink all of it. You're going to drink it all down. The dregs, everything. The bottom of the cup. You're going to have to get all that grimy. Oh, you're going to get it. You're going to get it so bad. So this is Hosea chapter 1. And I'll start at verse 6. And she conceived again and bare a daughter. And the Most High said unto him, call her name Lo-ruhamah, for I will no more have mercy on the house of Israel, but I will utterly take them away. So no mercy. But I will have mercy upon the house of Judah, and will save them by Yahweh their power, and will not save them by bow, nor by sword, nor by battle, nor by horses, nor horsemen. Who's going to save them? Yahushai. They're gonna be saved spectacular, and that saving started with this word. But Yahushai is going to come. He's not going to meet you as a man. He's going to save his elect with the chariots. Verse 8, now when she had weaned, Lo-ruhamah, she conceived and bare a son. Then said the Most High, call his name Lo-ami, or in Hebrew, La-a-imya, which means not my people. For ye are not my people, and I will not be your power. So what ended up happening here? The northern kingdom went into slavery by the Assyrians. And through there, you can read about it in 2 Ezra 13. From there, they came to another land, which was here, Arsareth. The Americas. The northern kingdom came over to this land. And they were no longer called the Lord's people. The same thing with parts of the southern kingdom. You can read about that in the Maccabees, because they made themselves uncircumcised. They were joined unto the other nations. And what Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai said that in the curses. I will scatter you all over the earth. So what happens when we're scattered all over the earth? We start following the different customs, the different things that the nations start calling ourselves by the other nations. So the same thing. We're no longer calling ourselves Israelites. Jeremiah 17:4. You shall discontinue from your heritage. Again, Hosea chapter 1 and verse 9. Then said the Most High, call his name La'aimia, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your power. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power. So this is that land where it was told to us, we're not the Israelites. You're Negroes, you're Latinos, you're Native Americans, you're spooks, you're niggers, you're wetbacks, you're whatever, you're basketball people. This is that land where it was told to us over and over and over again that we're not the people of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. You're Canaanites, you're Hamites, you're these other people. But here in these last days, the knowledge of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is coming to us. We're learning who we are as a people. We're Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai's people. Let's see here. Again, Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 6 in the GNT. I was angry with my people. I treated them as no longer mine. So how did he do that? By giving us into your hands. He didn't treat us like his own people. He took away his mercy from us. He gave us into your hands. You did whatever you wanted to do with us. And I put them in your power, and you showed them no mercy, even the aged you treated harshly. So you showed no mercy to the old nor the young. You thought you would always be a queen and did not take these things to heart, or think how it would all end. And it's going to end with fire, destruction. Listen to this, you lover of pleasure, you that think you are safe and secure. You claim you are as great as God, and that there is none else like you. In 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, this man of wickedness is being revealed. You thought that you would never be a widow or suffer the loss of your children. But in a moment, in a single day, both these things will happen. In spite of all the magic you use, you will lose your husband and your children. So you're gonna lose everything in a moment. The same way, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, the Israelites are going to be changed from this mortal body to the immortal. Hey, you're going to be changed to nothing, to rubble, to dust. You're going to go back to your rightful position. Let me see here. Now I'll close out with this. This is Isaiah chapter 34, and I'll start at verse 1. Come, people of all nations. This is in the GNT. Come, people of all nations, gather around and listen. Let the whole earth and everyone living on it come and hear and listen. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is angry with all the nations and all their armies. So Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is angry with all the nations, with all the armies. He has condemned them to destruction. So how is this going to happen? When Yahushua returns, when all the nations are gathered for World War III in the Valley of Yehoshaphat, hey, Yahushua is going to put an end to all this. Their corpses will not be buried, but will lie there rotting and stinking, and the mountains will be red with blood. The sun, moon, and stars will crumble to dust. The sky will disappear like a scroll being rolled up, and the stars will fall like leaves dropping from a vine or from a fig tree. So there's going to be so much death, so much destruction. It's given the imagery of the mountains being melted with blood. There's going to be so much bloodshed, so much death that people aren't even going to be buried. There's going to be so much people dying that there's not going to be enough people to bury them. And it gives the images of the ICBMs dropping. Stars falling from heaven. Scrolls being rolled up. The mushroom cloud. Verse 5, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai prepared his sword in heaven, and now will it strike Edom. So, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai prepared his sword. The ICBM. That's another type of weapon. It's a sword. And that imagery, which the KJV does it better. It says bathed in heaven. It gives that imagery of an ICBM, giving the arcing motion, going up into the heavens and coming down. Matter of fact, I'll show you like this. That arcing motion of an ICBM. Look at that. bathed in the heaven, going up into the heavens, dipping, bathing itself, coming down, and coming down upon Idumea, this land, Babylon the Great. Verse 5, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua prepared his sword in heaven, and now will it strike Edom, those people whom he has condemned to destruction. So what did I say in Malachi 1 and 4? You know, the people against whom he have indignation forever. This is them. This is those people. His sword will be covered with their blood and fat, like the blood of fat lambs and goats that are sacrificed. The Lord will offer his sacrifice in the city of Basra, which this is that capital now. You know, Basra was the capital of the ancient Edom. Now it's today, because that land is already desolate. That land is deserted. That Basra is just a tourist spot now. But this land here, he will make this great slaughter in the land of Edom. The people will fall like wild oxen and young bulls, and the earth will be red with blood and covered with fat. This is the time when Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua will rescue Zion and take vengeance on her enemies. So, hey, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua in these last days is showing you he's going to rescue his people, starting with the elect, the people of Israel, starting with the 144,000 and the rest of the elect here in Babylon the Great. He's going to save his people, and at the same time, he's going to bring destruction to this land. The rivers of Edom will turn into tar, and the soil will turn into sulfur. The whole country will burn like tar. The whole country will burn like tar. So this entire place, from coast to coast, will be on fire, burning for generations. It will burn day and night, and smoke will rise from it forever. The land will lie waste age after age, and no one will ever travel through it again. So this land is going to be wasted for ages, for generations. Nobody's going to come through this land and travel through it. Nobody's going to come here and make money anymore. It's done here. It's a wrap. And you can see it. You can see it already. This place is already going low. Owls and ravens will take over the land. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua will make it a barren waste again, as it was before the creation. There will be no king to rule the country, and the leaders will all be gone. Thorns and thistles will grow up in all the places, and walled towns and jackals and owls will live in them. Wild animals will roam there, and demons will call to each other. The night monster will come there looking for a place to rest. Owls will build their nests and lay eggs, hatch their young, and care for them there. Vultures will gather there, one after another. Hey, this place is going to be deserted. It's going to be deserted. Nobody's going to live here. The same thing, hey, if you look at Chernobyl. Chernobyl, hey, even though that place didn't have a nuclear bomb go off or anything like that, the buildings are still standing. But the buildings here, there's not going to be any buildings here. But the point being, in Chernobyl, plants still grow there. Unclean animals live there. Wolves, owls, things like that. But people cannot go there. It's too radioactive there. It's too contaminated. People can't go there for a long time. But this place is the same thing here, except this place is going to be completely burnt up, destroyed. Verse 16, search in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua as a book of living creatures, and read what it says. Not one of these creatures will be missing, and not one of them will be, that's not. Salakia. That's not what the KJV says. But hey, the point being there, like I said earlier, hey, the GNT, all that stuff is good, but hey, it goes off on some of them. This is Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 16, and I'll close out with this. It says, seek ye out of the book of Yahweh, seek ye out of the book of the Lord, and read. No one of these shall fail, no one shall want her mate. For my mouth it have commanded, and his spirit it have gathered them. So again, seek ye out of the book of the Lord, and read. Everything is contained in this book. Salvation, wisdom, you know, the destruction to the other nations. Why this happened to the nation of Israel? Why is this happening? What's going to be hereafter? You know, everything that you need to know is contained in this book. And it says, and no one shall want her mate, meaning that this book cannot be paired with any other book. You cannot pair this with the Quran, the Talmud, none of that stuff. This book cannot be paired with any other book. It stands alone. All the books that are contained within this book, that's it. With the Old Testament, the Apocrypha, the New Testament, that's all you need. So all this is out of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai's mouth. And this is what's coming to the earth. Destruction to Babylon the Great. And with that, Lord willing, was edifying. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem HaKakodash, and peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. Hey, Shalom.